Adam already got an idea.
Well, then let Adam go first.
Daniel, you're up.
Yeah. All right. So, welcome, listeners, to Previously On, a Damage Control podcasting production. I am Daniel Newkirk, and I am here with...
Adam.
And...
Cody Dietrich.
And...
Oh, wait.
Tyler Tipton.
Do me again. Daniel Newkirk.
That gag would have worked if you did it the first time. Fuck. All right. So here on Previously On, I am the head director, or the head, no, the studio head. I'm sorry, I am the studio head. And
Yeah.
Cindy!
Wonder how you got that job.
Cindy,
right?
Cindy, who is this crazy person? Where's Cindy?
and
She got fired. Daniel only likes men working underneath him.
that's exactly true.
Sigmund?
Sometimes a penis is just a penis, Tyler. So Adam, Tyler, and Cody will be writing their own movie and vying for my attention. Today's topic is on making a franchise villain, such as the likes of Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger, or more notably the villains of the MCU, which have been for the most part well cast.
If only we videoed these.
You know, I had like an opening here.
Oh, sorry.
When has those ever gone to plan?
Never, fucking never. Sorry, I just had to check the 60-minute timer. Okay. So we're talking about
We did not make it 60 minutes then.
or 60 seconds.
I was
Yes,
gonna say, we did not make it
definitely
60
made
minutes.
60 seconds.
Okay.
We were talking about franchise.
I only
villains.
make it 60 seconds in.
That's what Sarah tells me.
Go ahead.
So we're talking about franchise villains. The villains
Are we?
like
Are
yeah,
we?
we're trying to. Like Freddy Krueger from Friday the 13th.
No,
Jason.
Freddy Krueger for Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's what I said.
You said Freddy Krueger for Friday the 13th.
13th. You
Yeah,
did.
this is payback for the Sex and the City thing. You
That's
said.
fair. I was trying to Mandela affect Tyler here.
Oh.
All right.
Whoa!
And Jason Voorhees from Nightmare on Elm Street, as well as Mike Myers from Austin Powers, who is the same character from
Jason Statham from My Little Pony.
Yes, and from Halloween. As well as characters like Loki and Thanos from the MCU. So
If
I
you
kind
got
of wanted
that
to
wrong, you'd lose your credentials.
right. I do kind of want to talk about why I chose this as a topic.
Okay.
So I watched Ant-Man Quantumania.
Okay.
And they are supposed to be setting up Kang as the next big franchise villain in the MCU. And if you walk away from Ant-Man Quantumania thinking Kang is going to be a significant threat to the MCU, then you did not pay attention to the movie. By the end of the movie, I absolutely looked at Kang as nothing special. He was kind of boring, he was flat, and frankly, I was not interested in it. And it so happened to be that the same weekend that Quantumania came out was one of a WWE premium live event. So I watched that in...
Which are you allowed to say?
I
Of course
don't-
you're allowed to say.
I mean, I don't remember which one it was, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it was a big one. I think it was one of their smaller ones.
Oh, okay.
Probably Backlash or something like that.
Gotcha, okay.
But at the time, WWE is creating a fantastic villain character that carry their title in Roman Reigns and the Tribal Chief persona. And I remember looking at how Marvel, quote-unquote, booked Kang and comparing him to how WWE was booking Roman Reigns. And I said, we can do better than Kang, and we might be able to reach Roman Reigns. So, gentlemen, that is why we picked today's topic. So we're going to see which of you guys can claw through the competition.
Well, I picked Roman Reigns as my villain, so I'm fucking done.
All right. We're going to see if your movies are going to go into the shredder. And
A good villain.
yeah, we're going to see if your movies are dumpster fires or more arty. So,
Okay.
all right.
Cody, go first.
I expect more of a reaction from Tyler on that one.
I was going to make an Arthur joke because you said Artie.
That were you?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm still trying to figure out how to get from A to B.
Straight line.
Usually,
like my grandfather always said, nothing straight.
That's true.
yeah, that's true.
Not even my sexuality.
Okay. So, Adam, you said that you had a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
And you're tooting your own horn about it in the Discord, so why don't you start kick us
Two
off?
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go
You
last.
automatically lost. Just for that.
So I'm gonna go last.
Wait, hold on. Cody, you never told us what the points were for in the last one.
Yeah, what were the points for?
That's why I haven't been able to concentrate.
Oh, that's exactly
That's why.
why. Uh-huh.
I found that if I start just marking down points, it makes Adams nervous.
Yeah, it did make me. I kept looking at it.
Yeah, so it was just me emotionally controlling him to keep me engaged.
Do you want me to go? I'll go first.
Yeah, I mean, I am the studio head, and you three are my cunning couriers of cruelty. So somebody make a movie.
Do you spell those with C's or
K's?
K's? Because Adam only goes with things that have 3 K's.
Yeah, I just realized I had it like written down, and I forgot to use it because I did the tone deaf troubadours in the last one. So I'm gonna.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that on all of mine now.
Alliteration.
Yep, I love it.
All right. I guess I'll go first.
All right, Adam.
Toot toot. All right. So I'm gonna go. Superheroes are played out, or they're on their way of being played out for a mass audience. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna do the original superheroes. Oh, that sounds better. There we go.
Not so tinny.
Yeah.
If you mute that mic, it'll sound a lot better.
The orig superheroes. So what are the orig superheroes?
Cowboys.
Greek gods. All right, check this out. The movie opens up. There's a man on top of a high mountain, overlooking the ocean. The ocean's banging against him, crashing right.
The ocean's fucking the wall.
And our character has torn cloth around his eyes, all tied up so he can't see, right? And tied around his waist. This dude's like emaciated. I think you guys had to help me with this last time. Emaciated. Thank you. And he's got a sword on his back, and tied around his waist in his arms is a giant boulder. Okay, he throws the boulder into the ocean, and he goes down with it. He goes into deep. It just goes deep down, and into the ocean, and he finally hits the bottom.
Finds the Titanic.
No, and he's scouring the bottom. He can't see, right? So he's scouring the bottom, and he finds what he's looking for at the bottom of the ocean, right? Picks it up and he puts it in his sack, and he takes a sack, not his sack, and he ties it on the side.
So that's what was happening. He was
The
looking for his
old
bowl.
prison pocket.
Yeah. So he ties it on the side of his, not loincloth. What do they wear? Like robes?
Tunic. Toga?
He has nothing on the top. It's all covering the bottom. So what would that be?
Oh, only the pants.
A
That's a
dress.
skirt.
That's a tabard.
Tabard.
A tabard.
A tabard.
Emaciation. So
Another word for skirt.
He ties.
No, that's very different.
The emaciated proclamation.
So he ties.
Oh, we don't want to. No. Back up. We're not going there. We're not going there.
So he ties it. He puts the object he was looking for in his sack, and he ties it to his
Tabard.
He tabard, and he takes his sword out of the sheath, and he cuts the rock off, and he goes.
So you forgot to mention that he was tied to the rock.
He
mentioned it.
He did.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he did. That's how he sank to the bottom.
Yeah, you just said he threw a rock. That's it. You didn't say he was tied.
No, he said it was tied around his waist.
Editor,
Okay.
editor, play it back right now.
Cindy,
What did Adam say?
Cindy, play the tape. Yeah, he had a rock tied to around his waist, and in his hand was the rock.
Why,
There we go.
Why does Cindy
Thank you,
sound
editor.
just like you?
No, Cindy played the tape.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Cindy. She's also an impressionist. Anyway.
She's an artist?
Yep. So he cuts the rope from the rock, and he goes floating up to the top, and he puts it back in.
Wait. Why would he not put it back in as he's floating up to the top? That seems very dangerous.
Water pressure.
He uses it as a rudder.
He's not able to see where he's going.
No, he can't see. You know why? Because he has no eyes. He's blind. So that's the opening scene of our movie. Okay. So the character
is the boulder.
is the character is Bellerophon. You guys are aware of who Bellerophon is?
No.
Okay. Bellerophon is the guy who actually in mythology had Pegasus, not Perseus.
Oh, okay.
Perseus, the adventures of Perseus actually caused Pegasus, because when Perseus was flying through the air with his magic shoes that Hermes, or was it Mercury? Hermes was...
Or Hermes would be Greek.
Greek. Okay, so it was Hermes. Anyway, because I don't like Hermes, I like Mercury better. Why? Because Clutch has a song called Mercury. Anyway, so he's flying.
I feel like Adam's mind.
Right. This is a case study in ADHD, and I love it.
So anyway, Anyway, Perseus, as he's flying through the air with the Gorgon's head, the blood drips
Oh, so
down.
it's the Gorgon's head.
No, Perseus in the
Okay.
myth. I'm telling you,
he's jumping. He's giving backstory.
I'm telling you how Pegasus was invented.
Okay.
Anyway, the blood drips down, and where it drops, Pegasus comes up. So Perseus
Pegasus come from Medusa's blood.
yes, and then Bellerophon later on in mythology uses Pegasus, not Perseus. Anyway, so Bellerophon is our hero, right? He's blind because at the end of his story, he actually makes it to Olympus in the actual mythology, and he's dropped. Daniel doesn't believe me, so he's Googling it.
I believe you. I just was unaware, so I'm now Googling to see what I also was wrong about the Perseus mythology.
Okay. He had a thing from Hades, and he had the invisibility cloak from Hades. No, it wasn't a cloak. It was a helmet.
It was a helmet.
It was a helmet, yeah. Anyway, getting off topic, ADHD. So our character is Bellerophon, and our villain, our hero is Bellerophon. Our villain is very Thanos, very dark side, very...
Thanatos.
No. It's you know the saying, I don't think this is going to work because this is where...
You're trying to sell a movie where it's
I
supposed
know.
to work at.
This is where I get nervous
Just
because
keep going.
because this character is more like metaphorical than actual real. We're actually making this metaphorical character real, so I'm kind of nervous. But you know the saying that if you stare down into the abyss long enough, the abyss stares back at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the person in the abyss staring back at you. That is our character.
Okay.
So the idea of my franchise is, I think in Christian mythology, it's Abaddon is actually who lives in the abyss, but we're gonna do the classic nameless one type thing. So our main villain is the dude that lives in the abyss that stares back at you, and he or she or whatever genderless, nameless character. He's like, it is in charge of the narrative of humans, right? It controls the gods. So he allowed the Greek pantheon to take over. It doesn't work. So the first movie in this franchise is the destruction of the Greek pantheon coming into Christianity. This is where it's going to get controversial, but so at let's just call him the abyss for easy.
So are you going straight from Greek mythology into Roman mythology then?
No, we're going right into Christianity. So hang on, hear me out.
Okay.
So the guy from the abyss, he watches. He's some sort of like timeless H.P. Lovecraft type character, endless one type character.
I was here before them all, and I'll be here after them all.
Like he controls the narrative. So the Greek pantheon's gone. He's fucking fed up. Zeus is fucking everything in sight. He's done with this shit. Bellerophon in mythology, in his myth, he's kicked off of. He falls off of Pegasus, and he falls down back into the ground. He's a mighty warrior. He falls because he believes he belongs on Olympus. He falls off of Pegasus trying to get to Olympus, or I think he might have been struck by a lightning bolt. I don't quite remember, but I do know he falls off of Pegasus and lands back on the ground. He's left blind, and he's just left to wander the earth blind. So the nameless one from the abyss convinces Bellerophon, because he's a mighty sword fighter, that the gods are done. So it's him and Odysseus going to Olympus, because Odysseus is a con man. He's a grifter. So you've got...
And he's another person like... What's his name? What's the main character? What's
Bellerophon?
Bellerophon. He, like Odysseus, have been screwed over by the gods.
Right. So you got the brains, which is Odysseus, because he can worm his way onto Olympus, and then you got the muscle, which is Bellerophon. So the nameless one from the abyss uses these two. They're all sorts of crazy action, kind of like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. They're wiping out Poseidon and everything. And
How?
Okay, so the sword that he has isn't his sword from mythology. It's actually the scythe that was used to pierce Uranus's nutsack. that creates the Titans. So
Okay, all right, yeah.
so
Well, Uranus is Roman. It would be a different god.
It'd be Kronos, right?
no, Kronos was invented. So it'd be Uranus.
No, Uranus is Roman. All the planets are Roman gods.
Well, no. Uranus is a Titan.
No, Uranus is not Titan. Uranus is a help me out.
Primordial.
Primordial deity that it's like he was a chaos god. Which one was it?
Oranos is the Greek one.
As we should probably not use that one even because people would laugh if it was Uranus.
Uranus is the Roman.
So he
Oranos.
he has the scythe like tied to like a sword blade. Given to him by the Nameless One because it's
it's Greek too.
it's powerful enough to pierce this dude's nutsack to give up to the Titans, so it's powerful enough to wipe out the gods, right? So there's all this crazy like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe type stuff, killing Poseidon and Hades and all this jazz, and the final thing, the climactic battle is Zeus and Odysseus and Bellerophon, and they're fighting, and finally it looks like they're about to win, and the Nameless One finally appears, and of course Zeus knows him, and Zeus says something like you're gonna let the carpenter now, or something like something along the lines of, man, I had it written down, I should have brought it, where Zeus is like, my time's over, you're gonna give it to the carpenter. So we're not really gonna name Jesus because we'd probably cause a lot of controversy, but Jesus was a carpenter, so that
Wasn't he a son of a carpenter?
no, he was a carpenter, wasn't
He took on his father's trade.
he? Yeah.
But
It's-
most people believe that it was translated into carpenter, that he would have been a stonemason, not a carpenter.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Also, before you get back on your rant, so
my rant, I was my movie pitch.
Oranos is the Greek god. Uranus is the Latin from which Oranos came from, and the Roman Oranos is Caelus. So Uranus is the only planet that isn't named after a Roman god.
So it's probably best that we not use Uranus anyway,
So yeah,
due to what it's now become.
there you go. So that is me correcting myself.
So that's the first movie, right? And the second movie is the death of Christianity, and so you can't use Bellerophon. So who do you use? You use the dude that stabbed Jesus on the cross.
Pontius
Longinus?
No,
Pontius Pilate. No, that was the.
he was the one, Pontius Pilate was the one that condemned him to be crucified.
Oh yeah, okay. So it was Longinus who did the stabbing then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's the one that ends that realm. But so that would be the second movie. But we could, before we get to Christianity, we don't even have to touch Christianity because that would cause a lot of controversy. It could be It could be the death of.
Like, you're trying to make a movie franchise, and you're being unapologetic about ending religions, but you don't want to do one that is currently practiced?
No, I personally don't care, but as the head of a movie studio, he's going to give me millions of dollars. He wants a guarantee that he's going to get millions of dollars back by killing off Jesus. A lot of people will go see it, but I don't think he's going to get his money back.
That was supposed to be, not that you're stealing, but that was what was supposed to happen in the God of War series. Is after he left Greece, he was supposed to travel and start killing the Christianity.
Oh, anyway,
I might have played that.
Yeah.
That would have been a pretty interesting, like.
Anyways-
way to go,
Well,
direction
they're
to go.
sort of doing that now.
Well, because isn't he working through Norse mythology?
He just finished Norse.
So now he's
Okay.
supposed to go to Egypt.
and do the Egyptian gods.
fuck. I don't play video games, so fuck. My story isn't as
No.
cool as I thought it was.
Like,
no,
no,
it's
this
a
is
great
fine.
idea.
I'm just,
Yeah, God
I
of
was
War-
relating it to something else.
Yeah, God of War is completely different than what you're pitching. You are doing more of a philosophical thing. God of War is just straight up blood, murder.
So the guy. So I guess the dude in the pit, the abyss. I guess he is what we picture God as. He's the one that actually started life. He is the primordial ooze that all life, the Big Bang came from. He actually is.
Like, I don't care what you call me. I made you, and this isn't working, so I'm going to try again.
But he made everything. He made the Christian God. He made the Olympians. He made the Asgardian. Like he is it. But I mean, I say he because it's just a pronoun I throw out. But it's like a H.P. Lovecraft. It's beyond any of our he's beyond any of our comprehension.
So he is so he made the Greek pantheon, and then he can't. He's done with it. So then he decides that we're gonna move on to something else.
Yeah.
And then okay.
So is it not necessarily out of a spite sort of thing? Is like he's got this longer plan that he needs stuff to happen.
So what's his end game?
Or maybe he's a scientist or a scientist, and he's like, well, this experiment failed. Let's try something else.
Or what if it's in this thing like he needed the Greek pantheon to happen to get certain things to develop, and once it's outlived its usefulness, like, okay, I need them to start working on other shits, so I'm going to have new ideas hit the board now.
So what's making him the villain?
Because he's ending all this stuff. So here's the end game, the Infinity War or whatever. These heroes come back through all these, I don't know much about Egyptian mythology, but if we picked a character from Egyptian mythology, destroys that mythology. We pick one from Norse that destroys that mythology. And at the end, the Infinity War is these guys coming up and realizing, because they think that they're working for this guy, and what have happened, they were cursed with immortality. Like everyone wants immortality. Well, it's a fucking curse. They want release. They want oblivion. They don't fucking they killed gods. They've reached the pinnacle of anything they could fucking do.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole idea of the Infinity War part of this is that they now want free will. They realize that they have no free will. They want everything is being puppeted by the dude from the Abyss. So the end war is the Thanos battle, them taking out the dude from the Abyss. So we as whatever species, us as a species, can now have actual free will. We can destroy ourselves. We can live long and prosper. We can do whatever happens to us is because of us, not because of because this dude's controlling the narrative.
I like it.
I do. I like it too.
I get. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't say that I like it. You pick apart all mine.
Yeah, I get like Hellraiser vibes from these movies because you have this central villain who everyone is familiar with, hopefully by the end of the movies, but you never really see him. Like he's always in the background, he's always in the shadows and manipulating things, and then you get a big scene at the very end. Like
Thanos in the early MCU type things.
Right.
Is what I was, because you said a villain, so I was trying to go for, instead of a bombastic Freddy Krueger villain, which I love, but I was trying to be more.
So who's Bellerophon? Who are we casting for Bellerophon? Are we being politically correct, or are we going the Cleopatra, or just making them whatever the way we want?
No,
to look like?
So okay.
John Stamos, he's Greek.
No, will you get on? I forget what this guy. The guy I want to play. He was in a movie where he played an old Billy the Kid.
Bill and Ted?
No. He was a gunman who was raising this kid in the middle. It had just come out. He's.
You gotta give him more to go from that.
Fuck. Look up.
Billy Crudup.
What was that movie that had "I'm a Man of Constant Sorrow" as?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Look up "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" because I think he was in that movie.
Did he play one of the main three?
Yeah. It was one of George Clooney's sidekicks.
Tim Blake Nelson?
It might have been Tim Blake
Where he
Nelson.
was the legend of Buster
No.
I say it would be Tim Blake Nelson or John Turturro.
Yeah, because that's the Sector 7 guy.
Can the Abyss... Is the Abyss literally just like... Do you just hear like a voice?
No, he takes form because he talks to...
You'd have someone with a great voice, though, to do him.
Would you merge voices?
How do I see what movies he's in?
Click on the filmography.
Oh, so.
I thought you were a cinephile.
Yeah, but I don't use apps.
That's another Hellraiser joke for you. Those minions, cinephiles.
Yeah.
Old Henry, there we go.
Old Henry.
They were Cenobites.
Look at the photos from Old Henry. That's what I want Bellerophon to look like.
So who's the guy?
Oh, Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I was thinking. You said Tim Blake Nelson, and then I went to the guy that played Dr. Jekyll from LXG.
Oh, Jason Fleming.
Yeah, that's who I thought of.
So I want Tim Blake Nelson to play Bellerophon, but that's. I mean, what about the Abyss? Should he take a personal?
You could go like Joseph Coda Dreams thing, and you have 15 voices doing the same voice, and as it goes, different parts of the voice is highlighted. That's play like he's used different voices, and he is so vast. It's not just one thing containing him.
Oh, I forgot.
I like the idea, but I want to trim it down from 15. I think it should be 2, and you have a man and a woman's voice, and you could portray that as Adam and Eve.
Okay. But I forgot to explain my opening scene. I kind of stole this from Deadpool Destroys the Marvel Universe. The opening scene he was getting was actually Medusa's head, because Perseus throws it into the ocean after he...
Okay, so that's from Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
No, that's not
again.
That's not from Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
He takes Medusa heads, and that's what he used to kill all magic users in the second run of that.
Okay, well, I'm talking about where he kills the Avengers with a bomb, with Hank Pym's bomb. So Odysseus, as a play on Pandora's box, Odysseus presents the gods in Mount Olympus with a gift, and it's actually Medusa's head. So he convinces them to open it up, and of course Zeus knows what it is right away, so he kind of like dodges it. But all the ones that are up there, they open it up and they turn to stone, and then
Bellerophon?
All I could think was blasphemous. Bellerophon destroys them in stone, and then has to have an actual climactic battle with Zeus.
Okay.
I forgot to mention that part.
Okay. All right.
All right. I like Odysseus. So who's playing Odysseus?
Sam Elliott.
I wouldn't hate it.
I kind of want Idris Elba.
Yeah, he's a smooth, because he's got to be a smooth talker.
Yeah, I kind of like Idris Elba for Odysseus.
Yeah, he can do that rough grizzled look.
Because he's got to be like you're like, look at my hand over here, but while you're looking at this hand, he's fucking doing shit over here. You know, he's got to have that.
We gotta fucking get cameras.
We have to get cameras.
He's got to have that sort of.
So you don't like the show, but for the Abyss, can you do what Supernatural had a character called the Empty, where it's formless, like it's nothingness basically. It's what the darkness was before God created everything, and it's just like this shape, this like morphing form into different. Is that what you're doing for the Abyss, or are you doing like an actual person?
Well, in my head, when he talks to the people, he takes human form, and I don't want it to be this, but in my head when I was writing the idea for it, it was always Peter Stormare as Lucifer and Constantine. But that's not his actual. That's just so people could talk to him. So their minds don't fucking explode. They gotta have something they can comprehend.
They gotta have something they can rationalize. Like, this voice is coming from nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm digging the idea. I think that it's got a lot of potential. And it's definitely something I would sit and watch. So that sounds like a really cool idea. My concern is going to be the strength and the presence of the villain. Because you have a kind of a mastermind villain. But we're going to see how everyone else goes.
Oh, yeah, because I didn't...
Yeah. So, going from Adam, let's go over to Cody. Cody,
I untoot my horn. I untoot one toot.
All right. I mean, I do like it, and it's definitely a movie that if I saw it, like, come out, I would definitely stream it. I might go see it in theaters.
Okay.
All right, Cody, what do you got for me?
All right. We start off with a man with a pocket watch.
Band of a pocket
A man with a pocket watch.
Oh,
with a
man
pocket watch.
with-
Okay, sorry, I misheard you.
I thought you said band, too.
A man with a pocket watch. Click, open, close, open, close, open, close.
There's nothing else to do with a pocket watch than that.
And then he clicks it open again, checks the time, makes certain things are progressing his plan, And he looks over and acting all casual, and he ends up tripping somebody that immediately goes into traffic, causing a car wreck, and then big old clashing of cars in the middle of a freeway. Well, not freeway, in the middle of a cross area of a town. Next thing you know, somebody is busting out of one of the cars in the car wreck is this superpowered villain that now waking up and it has enough power to get out of his strength to now break out of the back of this prison transport van and now causing shit. Shitstorm, shitstorm, shitstorm. And that's when your big bad superhero Justice comes, saves the day. While the man who did that times it and like clicking. Wasn't fast enough. And goes about his day, flips the pocket watch back in his pocket watch, walks off completely unnoticed as just another bystander in the crowd. Next thing you know, the Superman like, this is just a random fucking coincidence, like looking who caused this. Can't find anything because cameras aren't minute enough to catch somebody accidentally getting tripped. Like, there's no way to know, like, oh, that guy accidentally tripped and caused it. Like, this wasn't planned, but it was. But we don't know how.
Okay.
And then we regress to the next scene. Same guy again walks into a fast food restaurant behind the counter and, like, sees a kid behind the counter, nerdy, has glasses, whatnot, and
Looked right at me when he fucking said that.
Actually, we all got
all
glasses.
of us have glasses and are nerdy.
Well, I'm not wearing them right now because I got headphones on.
Okay.
But we all got glasses.
Next thing you know...
Oh, that's right. You got those thick black hipster glasses, don't you?
Mm-hmm. No.
Black rimmed ones?
Mm-hmm. His Buddy Holly ones.
Yeah, that's it. The Buddy Holly.
No,
The Drew Carey ones.
No, I don't have frame. I have the 1960s G-Man.
Oh,
I don't have frames on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Next thing,
Those
he's
are the
in...
same way mine are.
Guy at the pocket watch in a coffee shop, getting a coffee, just straight, no black, no sugar, no nothing, just coffee. Next thing you know, he's sitting down and he's got like a notepad writing. You don't see what he's writing up, and he's writing, except for the last line, like 15 things went wrong this time.
Hold on, I missed what happened at the fast food restaurant.
He's still in the fast food restaurant. He goes up.
Oh, okay.
Gets his coffee.
Gotcha.
You see nerdy guy behind the counter with glasses, whatnot. Takes his order, gets his coffee, sit down, and he's doing like the hipster, like, but he's writing a screenplay, obviously, or something like that. Then armed robbers coming into the coffee shop. This is a sticker. Everybody's watching wallets and stuff like that. And you see him. That was today, wasn't it? And the next thing you know, the nerdy kid behind the coffee area is just like, just waiting like this, and then like scene camera, and everybody's being watched at the same time. And then the coffee guy, the watch guy, keep looking over. Supposed to act for now. Next thing you know, he stumbles into the guard into the bad guy, enough for the guy to sort of fall down, lose sight of the nerdy kid's glasses. He's already in the back room. Next thing you know, young superhero comes busting through the front of the shop. Stops the crime, everything's great. The guy he's not responsive enough yet. And you see that in his notes, not responsive enough yet. Need to work on that. Next thing you know, you see a big old master plan villain, like he's trying to get this thing to work, like straight up maniacal, like Lex Luthor, Joker level, like I'm gonna turn the water supply into ducks. That sort of crazy shit. You stupid pants.
Hold on.
That was a deleted scene in The Dark Knight.
I've read a lot of comics. I don't ever recall any villain being like, you know what? We're gonna turn.
No, that was in Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight. It was a deleted scene.
We're gonna turn the water supply into ducks.
Quack, quack, motherfucker.
I feel like the henchman would be like, did he say ducks? No, he said ducks. Ducks?
They're like, I'm not gonna fucking tell you different. You saw the last guy who talked to him, cut his fucking head off and put it on a duck.
Hell no, I'm not going to correct the man. He can turn water into ducks. Jesus couldn't even do that.
This guy's got an obsession with ducks.
We're getting off point here.
Oh my god,
The Mississippi, more like the mallard. The mallard, I don't know.
The mallard sippy?
The mallard, Mississippi.
The mallard way.
Oh my god.
The ducks thing.
But
Because in my head, I was like, did he just say ducks?
But the villain, he's got a 5-point plan. He's got plan point 1.
Step 1, ducks.
Ducks.
Step
2. 5, chaos. But he doesn't know how to get to 2, 3, or 4, and he's just sort of stuck in this loop.
More ducks.
Step 3, geese.
Next thing you know, breaking news. We have now have a matter recombiner that just came into being at Whatchamacallit Labs, and it seems it's going to revolutionize food production by
That's a
using water.
subsidiary of Acme.
Good old whatchamacallit labs.
We can now turn water into food, and then they're like, "That's exactly what I need for my plan." And then big old master plan going on, and then you see Watch Guy again. Talking over with Collie, like, yeah, I think this is going to solve world hunger, you know? Like, it's all for the betterment of mankind.
But then we'll run out of water.
And it just goes on, where it seems to be all these interconnected events of him fucking with superheroes, fucking with supervillains. Like, it seems like he's either causing problems as much as he's helping problems get solved. So he's orchestrating this behind the scenes of causing events to happen when and where, and you don't know why, and he never takes the public eye until there is a hiccup in one of his plans that, again, he didn't foresee, because there's this brand new I'm not going to necessarily call him an anti-hero, but there's this one hero that always kind of stuck true to me that I've always loved from Marvel. His name's called Hardball. He got his superpower specifically to do crime to pay for his brother's medical treatments. But his first time when he's trying to rob a truck, he accidentally saves the day. Because it was actually like, oh, you saved that kid.
No, what's his power?
Oh.
He generates like a force field. He's sort of like a Green Lantern sort. He sort of generate energy bubbles and stuff like that.
Oh, I was thinking the dude that Gold Balls. That's who I was saying. Anyway, go ahead, sorry. No, is that the same dude?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, but like his first time trying to commit a crime, he punches a armored truck into the side of the building to like rob it, and then Pat's like, "Oh, you just saved that little girl from getting ran over," and he's like, "Wow!" And then like Avenger, like, "Oh man, you have potential. You're gonna join the Avengers as a tryout." And he's like, "Yeah, sure. I'm just doing it to help people." And this kid bumbles into one of his plans. And it pisses off because he's like, who are you? You are not supposed to be here.
That's the guy with the pocket watch?
That's the guy with the pocket watch.
Okay.
And it's sort of like, and he freaks out so much, you're like, this is weird. He's never, like, gotten up in arms about it. It seems like he's always had the flow. And he ends up basically taking the guy back to his secret lair, which is just his apartment with like conspiracy board out the ass, like timeline bending, like
red,
and he goes into
red
this
string.
Your red string, yeah, going everywhere.
Red strings everywhere, and going into this like, and trying to interrogate to figure out who the hell he is, because it freaks him out so much that because he says you are not supposed to be there, you're not supposed to be here. And it is such adamant, and he's starting to lose it, like, eventually, like, no, you're not going to mess this up for me. And basically imprison him, but doesn't necessarily kill him. Like, he imprisoned him, but he's not letting him go anywhere either. And the whole time, he's like, should I kill him, or is that going to mess it up? Like, I need this to work this time, as he's breaking down, trying to figure how to go. And he's like, I need June 23rd to go off a hitch, and it ends this all. It ends this all. And then, worst case comes there, the kid, because he kidnapped the kid, people are now looking for the kid, and then brings to a string of heroes following the trail, finding him, and saving the kid, but also causing the watch guy to be late for June 23rd. And then he just breaks down and just breaks it. No, no, no. The next thing you know, he gets shot in the head.
Who shoots him in the head?
Nobody knows. But pot guy wakes up. He's 10 years old again. And he just has his hands in his head, thrashing in his bed, tears his room to shit. I was so close to stopping it. Sorry.
No, you're right.
So close to stopping it. And then he breaks down again, like, I gotta make sure that kid doesn't exist. And then next movie goes all back to the kid again. You can't find the kid. Next thing you know, the kid's on the other side of the country. Again, something happens. Dies before June 23rd. Goes back again. And it goes on to this guy trying to orchestrate events to get past June 23rd. Because he's this guy stuck in a time loop, and nothing he has tried, and it's sort of Bill Murray, we don't know how many times this has happened to him. And it's just him trying to get past this one date, because even if he offs himself before it, he keeps going back. It never ends. It is to the point where it is, move that bullet, I could be the you see timelines where he's the richest person on Earth. He's caused world wars. But he never makes it June 23rd for one reason or another.
Do we ever know what the reason is?
No.
Why June 23rd?
Don't know. He just knows he never gets to it. It's always June 22nd. It's always, either the last time is always June 22nd, where he waits with anticipation. He never makes it to June 23rd. Never. If it's not this, it's that, something he didn't check here, and it's just him going through this orchestrated event of trying to get these things to fall in line. And that is the conundrum of the story.
Okay, I'm feeling it.
Who's the... Oh, go ahead.
Well, so the Pock Watch guy, he's our franchise villain?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the payoff at the end? So at the end, somewhere in our franchise, we have to have a payoff where all the movies are culminating.
Well, that's it. Like, we're seeing this franchise villain, in my opinion, has always been sort of like our Agent Coulson in all these other movies that we have going on. So it seemed like, hey, that's that guy that bumped in that one dude that caused the wreck. Remember? Like, he's the reason super person, a coffee shop kid, was able to even stop that robbery to start his superhero career. It's not until culmination, that's what I'm going to call it, that we have the kid fucking up his plans, and we actually seeing him as a bigger guy. Okay, so him getting killed on June 22nd and going back in time to when he was 10, that is our payoff.
Yes. So the rest of the movies leading up to that one are kind of general superhero movies with this character being kind of prominently in the background.
Yeah, he's supposed to represent that figure, like, he's that thing in the universe that exists to give the superheroes time to shine. The reason why these villains never seem to have a single hitch in their plans go on, but always end up still getting foiled. But, like, how the hell is Joker able to get all this shit done before, whatchamacallit, Batman actually gets to him? Like, how is he even able to be out on the street long enough to do all this stuff and just be able to do that? That sort of feeling.
Okay.
Where do the ducks come into play at?
That was a joke.
Oh, I was actually...
that is the movie I'm most excited for, is the water to ducks.
Because I was going to say, the studio, we own the duck from Batman Returns, so I think we can retrofit it for this movie.
But that's an interesting thing. Like, it is a stupid plan of a supervillain, but if all water on Earth is ducks, we're all going to fucking die.
Does that include the water that's in your body?
It could be.
I want to turn
Death by ducks.
What was it? 78% of the body is water, or something like that.
Yeah, so 78% of you just comes ducks. So you have ducks coming out people's eye socket.
I love it.
So that means like 90.
Absolutely love it.
So if you eat celery, you're eating 90% of a duck.
Yeah.
Duck melons.
But we had this, and then we have this series of events, and
God, is there water in Monster?
and then I think the final thing in the series is we have an Infinity.
No.
We have an Infinity Stone level event where he, instead of taking the backdrop, because this guy's a normal human, by the way, no superpowers, none of that. He just been
Stuck
around.
in a time loop.
He's stuck in time, been around long enough to have this stuff. So he's done ones where he's tried to gain powers and whatnot. It doesn't really work out for him because. So, but it gets to the point where we have a MacGuffin that seemed to be able to do anything, say, Infinity Stone sort of things, and he's actually gunning for it, and how ruthless he can be, just a standard human, with all this knowledge that he just has. So this superhero is coming like that guy's aluminum, throws a fucking tinfoil ball and shoves a piece of tinfoil ball in his mouth and just choking him out with a ball of tinfoil.
I want to say Cody probably thought about doing that to somebody. Cause
that was graphic.
Yeah, that was.
Okay. So let's trim it down into 5 movies here. So we got the Water to Ducks movie. We've got the coffee shop teen hero movie. We've got the Guy Breaks Out movie. So in all 3 movies, they're superhero movies, and this guy's prominently in the background.
Yeah.
Movie 4 is the first time we see him die on June 22nd.
Yes.
And then movie 5 is when we reveal like all the alternate timelines and all the times he's done it. And how does movie 5 kind of wrap up the franchise?
Movie 5 wraps up the franchise is he's given up.
Okay.
He's like, even after he's gotten the MacGuffin, he gives up and he just is stasis. And
that's what causes them to live past June 23rd.
But he's in such a sense of now. He doesn't realize it.
He's his own worst enemy. He is the reason why he can't live.
Yeah, even if him trying to fight against it is one of the reasons he never is able to live past it. So when he gets to the point where he can't even discern reality anymore, that's when, because the entire time he cares too much about reality and he wants to make it past this, because that's when his only goal. When he gives up on reality, is when he's able to live past it. But it's a life that's not worth living because he can't even discern.
He stops getting in his own way.
Yeah.
Interesting. So it sounds like the only person we really need to cast is our Pocket Watch guy.
Yeah.
So who are we casting for the Pocket Watch guy?
Rowan Atkinson.
He's dead. We can't do that.
I want the guy that played Phil Dunphy.
Who?
From Modern Family.
Oh, crap. What is his name?
He's a comedic actor, but he's done some serious roles.
Is he the dad?
Yes.
He's one of the dads.
Dude married to Sofia Vergara?
No,
in Modern Family.
No.
The fat dude?
No.
That's not him. One of the other.
He looks like.
Oh, he's the family dad.
Yeah.
He's the dad that's married to he's the straight dad with the kids.
Oh, Ty Burrell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get him and John Hamm confused.
What?
Yeah.
Cindy, get him the fuck out of here.
Cindy's not
I
here.
can see it. He's a lankier John Hamm.
Listen to Water for Ducks, man.
I was picturing in my head the architect from the Matrix.
Yeah, because I want that appeal of this
Neil
is.
Patrick Harris?
No, the Revolutions.
Oh.
Reloaded. No.
Gotcha.
Reloaded.
Yeah, but I want the feeling of that's everyday man that's always in the background. Like, I want it to feel like, oh, that's a fun Easter egg. They used him again. And I don't want it to ever be focused on enough where, oh, that's kind of funny. Until it gets to, like, movie 4, where we're like, why is this guy always seems to cause this fucking shit? And then that's when we get 5, when we find out why he seems to be causing all this shit.
Why does he go back to 10 years old?
Because that's just because it's a good number where somebody's starting to rationalize stuff.
But
and he's not young enough that he's a baby trapped in a human body, because I feel like that make people. He's a grown man trapped in a baby's body, because I feel like.
Aren't you trapping a grown man and like a prepubescent kid?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he wants to get past June 23rd. He doesn't want to go through puberty every fucking time.
Like some little kid walking down the street, like, how you doing?
Yeah, because I'm wanting
why he becomes Joey from Friends, I don't know, but
yeah, because I want him to get to like age 45 before he is hard reset. So he's got 35 years of puberty to.
Yeah, that would make you miserable.
No, I don't know. Those are some of my best years.
Yeah, but if you do it more than once. Like maybe the second, maybe even the third time you'd enjoy it, but by like the
Like,
fourth
yeah,
time,
that's my
fair.
sort of point, though. Like, how many times do you think rationally a person could theoretically go through life
18.
without getting so bored or so disenfranchised?
Because he'd
by it?
remember everything
18.
from every time, right? Like his memory doesn't reset.
Yeah,
right?
it's not like
Oh,
he gets
yeah.
Alzheimer's and like, oh, I'm gonna.
That would be-
he remembers everything.
That would be.
It might
torturous.
eventually, it might blur together eventually, but imagine having all the knowledge in the world and it doesn't really amount to anything because you never make it past a certain date. So he could be the richest, most powerful person in the universe. He doesn't get past June 23rd.
Okay. All right. I'm feeling it. I have some curiosities about it, but
I don't like mine anymore.
I definitely would watch that movie for sure.
I really don't like mine anymore.
We get to
All
go.
right.
We let you go.
All right,
last. We let
Tyler,
you go.
it's your turn.
Okay, so opening. This is a political thriller.
Cindy gets a hook.
The opening scene is a big room full of people, and it's the only thing that's announced is your new president of the United States is, and then it goes to black. And that's when the movie starts. So I can't. I honestly thought about this. I didn't half-ass this. I just
Okay.
don't. I have the points. I don't know how to line it all up.
That's fine. So throw out what you have, and we'll work together to get it
Points
built.
don't matter.
So it's set leading in the 1930s, leading up to World War II. It's set in the United States in an alternate reality. You have a newly elected congressman who is our hero of the film. He's pushing forward,
Is this a real person?
no.
Okay.
He's pushing forward that,
Congressman Goodman.
America is the greatest country in the world. We need to stop this before it happens again. And then you have our villain, which now saying it out loud kind of sounds bad, where we need to put America first.
It's Trump. Hitler.
So
Mao Zedong.
those two are clashing back and forth.
So Goodman and Badman.
And ironically,
No.
Badman is played by Gary Oldman, who I actually want to play that character.
Wouldn't it be John Goodman?
No, he
that
plays Goodman.
Badman? No, you want John Goodman to play Billy Badman.
I mean, John Goodman is a hell of an actor. I don't care. Any movie that has John Goodman's going to win.
That's true.
So John Goodman plays every single part in this movie.
Oh, so we're gonna. Okay.
Every single part. We're gonna do what they did with in the Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. We're just gonna record him and just move him around different spots. So you have your blatant good and your blatant bad, the person you root for and whatnot. And like I said, I know where I want to go. I don't know how to get there.
That's fine.
Straight line.
Shut up.
Okay.
And you find out at the end of the film that your Congressman Goodman, of course, turns out to be your bad. That's your Shyamalan twist. But your second twist that you find out later on is that, and no one will probably know this, I didn't until I looked up. So before you find out that Goodman isn't actually American, you kind of sprinkle clues in the second movie.
Okay, hold on. So Goodman is the one who's like, we need to help the world.
Yes.
Okay.
So you find out that he's not an American, and we kind of sprinkle red herrings.
So Goodman's the one that turned out to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
He's Asian.
No.
No, I'm saying that's how he's going to be Asian if he's going to be the bad guy.
Okay. Jokes aside.
Sigmund out. Get him out. We put out these red herrings, make you think that we're doing a Nazi infiltrator spy thriller.
Okay.
Then you come to find out that he is British, and before Queen Elizabeth's father wasn't actually supposed to be king. His brother was king.
Okay.
And he left the throne because he wanted to marry a woman who had been divorced twice. That's actually historical.
Yeah. I know what
truth.
you're talking about.
And before he was king, he had a whole bunch of affairs. Like, he just slept around. So you find out that Goodman is actually, you know, when his father abdicated the throne, Goodman should have been king, but he was a bastard child that the royal family didn't recognize. So he decides that he is going to reclaim America for his country that he will now rule and bring the British Empire back to its world power.
Cody's having a...
Are you taking this from the plot of that Goodman movie where he becomes King of England?
King Ralph?
That's a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I thought that was the original idea. Like, that's...
Kind of sounded like Lion King.
Yeah, so John Goodman plays a character, all the royal family dies, he is the closest living descendant who gets the throne next. He goes to England and they have the wacky, America and England.
Oh, no, it was the whole...
It's sort of like, I thought he was doing an inverse of that.
No, it was the whole point was that this is what he is going to do to reclaim his birthright, and then you find out that, you know, during the Civil War, the Crown was funding the Confederacy so that they would win, and then the Crown could demolish the war-torn Confederacy, and that his whole point to force the U.S. into the war is to decimate their forces while building up the British power so that they can take over the U.S.
There's too much hit. D done lost me.
No, I'm behind this 100%. I like this.
So that was the whole point, is that you're, like I said, then that's why I legit wanted Gary Oldman to be one character. Basically, I wanted two British actors as your main characters, because I wanted, you know, because, you know, at the end of the film, you know, you would hear a British voice or something saying, you know, it's all starting to come together. It's somehow you would hint at that, but you wouldn't know, because you're like, I mean, I guess if you're a huge nerd like us, you'd be like, okay, well, I know that Gary Oldman has a British accent in real life. You know, I know that Tom Holland has a British accent in real life, but they can both do American accents. So you're like, is it this one? Is it that one? And so that's the whole franchise, is setting up, you know, have him take over everything.
Okay.
So again, 5-movie model. So
Jesus.
Well, or we can do a smaller model if you want.
You'll have to help out.
Okay. So movie 1
Yes.
is the two senators in 1930s fighting for control.
That's
Yes.
Gary Oldman and whoever.
Yeah.
All right, and it's the end of that movie that we find out that whoever's playing Goodman is actually villainous, and he's the British.
I would say you find out he's villainous. I wouldn't say that you'd find out he's British. And then the second film, as it's leading up to World War II breaking out, you kind of sprinkle in, like, okay, well, maybe he's...
Well, when are we doing the election? Are we doing that in the first movie, or are we leaving that for second or third movie?
That's probably second or third.
Like, I'm thinking election third, because first is establishing your good, bad guy. Second is like, wait, I don't know this. Third, oh shit, it's too late to stop him. He won the election.
Yeah. So your second one is when you're sprinkling in, you're like, okay, where you think, okay, this guy is clearly, you know, he's set up as a Nazi spy to infiltrate. You know, this is, you know, something. And then at the end of the second one, that's when you find out
he's actually British.
that he's the rightful British heir or ruler, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so in movie 3 is when he actually puts on his kind of villain persona, and we're actually, when we go into movie 3, we're like, okay, this is the bad guy, and they're going to stop him, and our good guys fail to stop him.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want him to win.
Okay, and so he becomes the president?
He becomes the president in the fourth one, and then the fifth one ends with him sitting on the throne. That's what I want. I want that to be the final scene. I want the villain to win.
Okay, so our payoff is the bad
villain
guy wins.
Yep.
He becomes... So he doesn't want to be the president, he wants to be king?
Yeah.
He takes back the colonies for Britain.
Yes. He takes back the colonies, because this is set... So it doesn't go past... World War II ends up being averted. He becomes president, he sends the U.S. forces in, and we decimate Germany.
In some ways, he's a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, do we ever see the siege on Britain then? Like, are we going to see him attack Britain?
Yes.
Okay.
So you would have like a short, I mean not a short, but like it wouldn't be like the whole film would be. It would just be completely the U.S. and British forces combined, and they just decimate Germany. And then at that point, Japan surrenders, and Italy just runs away crying.
Okay, well, how about this? Like, we need to give him motivations why he's able to keep the American populace on his side of why we're attacking Britain. So why don't we have it where he, behind the scenes, he's engineering falsehoods or getting the British to like, okay, well, I guess you're going to be a world power now that you've taken out all your enemies in Europe, right? So you're going to become as big as us.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be some planned, like, he's got to have his wife assassinated by a British MI agent or something like that.
He has to, what do they call that?
Yeah,
false flag operations?
Yeah.
And it'd be like, and his stance would be like, he engineers the next World War. But he's like, we didn't end a World War to start another one. We're going to end this war before it involves the world.
He had a little JFK accent going on. We will end this war.
He has a good American accent.
He does have a good American accent.
What?
Okay.
You know what this sounds like? If you take out all the space Nazis and lightsabers, it sounds like Star Wars. Because Star Wars was, well, at least everyone George Lucas was behind was very political.
Well, Star Wars is based off a lot of historical events.
Yeah. I mean, space Nazis.
Yeah, space Nazis. Wizards.
And I mean, the Japanese did blow up the Death Star in World War One.
That's why I don't like Asians.
Oh, okay.
So, and then like I said, the final scene is him literally putting the crown on his head, having the crown put on his head, and sitting on the throne.
The crown of England.
Yes,
okay.
Which the British Empire now consists of the fully formed United States.
Okay, so for that shot, can we like when he does that? Can we pull out and he's sitting in like ruins all around him?
Yep.
Okay, I like that. Okay, so who's our bad guy?
Gary Oldman, right?
I thought he was the good guy.
Oldman is he's the red herring congressman in the first one.
Oh, I got lost on that part. Okay, my bad. I'm with you.
Bad guy.
Yeah,
so we need I want a British actor, of course.
Tom Hardy.
I want someone that looks innocent like Tom Holland, but he's too young.
Cillian Murphy.
Jeremy Irons. He's got a British accent, doesn't he?
Yeah, but I think he'd be too old.
Oh, he might be too old.
Cillian Murphy.
Because he's still too old.
Cillian Murphy.
Because the guy abdicated in like 19... I don't remember the exact... But like 1920s. So...
I think he was around 30 or 40 then.
I don't know. I can't think of...
Like, I know historically, I think he is around 30 or 40. So you don't have to have like a 90-year-old actor, but you could have a slightly older actor.
Like I said, I want someone innocent looking. Someone that hasn't played a villain.
Okay, all right.
Like I said, I don't think Tom Holland's old enough to look the age that he actually is.
About Simon Pegg.
Simon Pegg.
I think he's too typecast and
no one would buy him as a bad guy.
You know, so this guy I think fits the bill, but he's not really an actor. What about Alex Horne?
I don't know.
Ooh,
who's that?
He's a comedian and producer and writer in Britain.
He does. Was it me or you got us started on Taskmaster?
You.
Yeah. So I found this British game show called Taskmaster, and it's just a bunch of British TV actors, comics, and whatnot doing random tasks for the Taskmaster.
Kind of looks like Simon Pegg a little bit.
I can see that.
Yeah, so he's in a band.
What band?
The Horn
section. Because his name's Alex Horne. He's got a couple funny songs. He's got one about cooking an egg in a microwave.
Okay.
Like, it's pretty funny.
There's a guy one about ducks and water.
He's got one about Henry Hoover, the vacuum cleaner.
Herbert Hoover?
No, Henry Hoover.
Wasn't Herbert Hoover the guy who made the dam?
I got no
duck
joke.
dam?
You looked at me like I had a joke. I don't have a joke.
I was trying to think of a joke. I was hoping somebody did. What'd the fish say when he ran into a wall?
Damn.
So that's my movie.
All right.
I got nothing else. I thought it was pretty good.
Okay, I like it.
That would be cool because I don't think there's ever been like a political thriller franchise.
I just like the multiple twists.
Like, this kind of gives me vibes like Handmaid's Tale and stuff like that, doesn't it?
Like House of Cards minus the pedophile.
Like, yeah, because
right?
if we kind of shoot like House of Cards, but set like in World War I, II era, like, I'm get behind this. So do we have like an egomaniac sort of feel, or is it just like, this is what was supposed to be given to me and somebody took it?
He's just determined. Like, he's like, this is my birthright. I will have what is mine.
Or is it kind of like the man in the high castle? Isn't that an alternate?
That's where like the Nazis win, I think.
But I mean, isn't that like an alternate universe
Yeah.
spy thriller, and it's not really like a Star Wars shoot 'em up type thing?
No, it's...
So do we have his traumatic past on you? Because I imagine a guy...
No.
Well, I imagine this guy, like, he's set up to be king. He probably was growing up by his mom. You know, your daddy was a prince. And stuff like that.
No, see, I don't want any of that. Like, I just want him to know.
Yeah, because you don't want sympathy for the devil. You want the dude to be a
I don't
bastard.
want that. I mean, it's not like he lived like a horrible life.
But you don't want the audience to know that. You want him to be a bastard.
Yeah, like he was, he finds out, this was supposed to be my life. Like, he knows growing up that that's who he was supposed to be. But, you have the British royal family or British monarchy saying, we can't have, we're not going to, we're not going to kill you off, but, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be taken care of. And then that's when, as he starts to get older, that's when he formulates this plan. And he's like, I'm going to restore everything to the natural order. World War, this other war won't happen because I'm going to stop it. And then he ends up creating, another world war to accomplish his goal.
All right. Okay, I'm liking it. All right, so gentlemen,
I got an I'm liking it. You two got an I'm feeling it. So fuck you.
All right, so I think I've got enough to make a decision, and we can officially make a movie. Yes. So, Cody, I like your movie a lot. I feel like our main villain character isn't a villain until movie 4.
Yeah,
so I kind of feel like we're not really building a villain franchise, but I would definitely watch that franchise excitedly.
Okay.
Cindy, get security. We may have an issue.
Someone bring in the puppies.
My other concern is the other movie is a little...
Hold on. Cody started writing something down, and I was waiting for him to take out a fucking pocket watch. If you would have taken it out of a pocket watch, I just would have got out and fucking left. Knew that was going to happen.
The other movie is a little esoteric, and I like it for a lot of its notes, and it's hard to pick between the two movies.
Esoteric means
out there.
Okay.
Like
honestly
hard to imagine.
Honestly, didn't know what that meant.
But I think the thing about it that pushes it into second place is how little we see of the villain. And not that it's a bad thing, but in Hellraiser, until the very end when you see Pinhead, you're really not sure it's a Hellraiser movie. And that's something I think that I want to avoid when we're making an iconic, powerful villain. Even though it works for Hellraiser, it doesn't really work for the other movies. So today's winner is our historical spy drama that Tyler Tipton wrote.
Cody, it's a fucking pity win. Don't worry about it.
Hey,
I'm just glad you didn't win.
I'll take it.
I ain't picking you no more.
You two were fucking lobbing it back and forth for like 8 episodes.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that idea. I like the idea of the political spy thriller. I feel like we get involved on the villain in all 5 movies, and I feel like the rug pulls are good, and it really pulls to my history classes that I remember taking and really enjoying. So yes, Tyler, I want to make your movie franchise, sir.
Awesome sauce.
Cindy, get security.
All right,
So
so Tyler,
fired because I'm not on the studio head.
yeah, Tyler, give us a victory speech.
I'd like to thank all
Satan.
the little people, mostly the Lollipop Guild from The Wizard of Oz.
Dumb.
Shut up. So for next time's topic, I am
Are you making up your topic right now?
no, I have it.
Okay.
This is the topic I wanted to say because I have an example.
Lame.
You have to pick. We're going the DC universe. James Gunn's ran out of ideas. He's been fired. So now
Might be.
Warner Brothers has bought up whatever they took out a loan from Disney, and they bought up whatever IP you want, but they're giving it the DC treatment. It has to be dark and gritty.
Oh, so you take a non-dark and
Yes.
gritty thing
So
and make it dark and gritty.
Your example is this.
Okay.
So it's your noir film. You don't have to do this. This is my example. So it's a noir film. It opens up on a detective, and classic bottle of scotch at the end of the table, hat pulled down over his face. The door busts open. Woman's got legs for days. His secretary, and she's like, "Chief of police is here to see you." And guy walks in. He goes, "We need you back. You're the only one that can stop this guy." And he's like, "I'm not coming back." Yada yada yada. So then finally, he chief of police, relents, tosses a paper onto his desk, walks out, slams the door.
It's Roger Rabbit.
The guy puts his hat on, picks up the paper, sits down in his chair, opens it up, and it's like, son of a bitch, he's at it again. And it's a fucking blue paw print on a piece of paper. I came up with so many. He's got an informant, and then he goes to him, he's like, "Hey there, face."
I haven't.
They're on the Nick Jr.
Yeah.
The person that would introduce the show. It was literally the screen that was different colors, and he would say, "Hey there, it's me," or "Hey there, it's face here," and it was just two eyes and a mouth.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's what
I
it was.
didn't
I
know
was gonna say,
that.
you got to have a scene where the person he's talking to is off camera, and he's like, "Do you see any clues around here?"
Yeah.
And he looks at the camera,
Yeah.
and then the camera pans to the person he's talking to.
Yep. So take whatever IP that you would not.
It can be anything. It doesn't have to be owned by DC.
No, it can be, I was just using that as as a joke that it's
gotcha. All
whatever, something dark, and as many bonus points for the more Easter eggs that you throw in.
Okay. All right.
So check out next episode of Previously On for our
What if I
dark
do
and
the
gritty
Easter
reboots.
bunny? Then I got a shit ton of Easter eggs.
Yeah, because don't bunnies shit out eggs?
At least Cody laughs.
No, it comes from the Kawaka, Tyler. It comes from that rabbit Kawaka.
It's one of the side effects from ducks being turned into water being turned into ducks.
Is that what water really is? Is water just ducks?
Yeah.
Are we drinking ducks?
Sure. This ducks. It was ducks the whole time.
This and more duck references in the next episode, Previously On, our dark and gritty reboot. Thank you so much. You've been listening to Previously On, a Damage Control podcasting production.
What the duck?
What the duck? You check us out on YouTube and SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. Or Apple Music, which I can never remember which one it is.
It's just the podcast.
Okay,
app.
yeah, so Apple
It's just the
Podcasts.
podcast.
Check out new episodes most Mondays, and check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Adam, push the button.